Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video for you here today that was sent to me by Hadan the Mummy, okay? And apparently, too many men are being red-pilled, all right? We don't know how to treat women. You know, we engage in too much mahogany. We need to do better as men to date these women and step up. So let's take a listen to this woman's story, guys. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
So my mom is 54 and recently divorced. Like within the last year, she divorced my stepdad and they were together for 20 years. She has not been in the dating game, especially not when it comes to dating. And now as I've been single and telling her about dating apps, you can tell people about the experience of men right now, but until they are personally the ones living it, it's really hard for people to grasp how bad it is.
Okay, so let's unpack this first before we continue. This woman here has plenty of terrible experience with dating men. I think we all know what that means, guys, okay? These women who struggle to date and struggle to find a man, let me just say this. That is their damn fault. Dating is not difficult for women. Women have a lot of options. So when a woman is struggling to date and, oh, she just can't find a good man, good men are literally everywhere. These women are hunting for men who are out of their league. And of course, men don't want them. So we have a woman here who sucks at dating, who refuses to take any accountability for her decisions. And her mother has gone through a divorce of her stepfather. So I don't know, maybe this woman has been married twice, I would assume, or at the very least, you know, had her, this woman, as a child, and then went on and got married to another guy. So already we're not off to a good start here. So just bear that in mind.
But my mom recently went on a date, and then afterwards I'm on the phone with her and she goes, "You'll never believe what this man said to me." And I said, will I believe it? Yes. But this man, who is not a petite man, he's, you know, bigger, heavier set, looks at my 6'3" mother and asks her if she has ever considered getting a boob job. And my mom looks at this man and goes, no, because my mom is not an insecure woman. And the entirety of my life, everyone comments on how attractive my mother is. And so when...
Okay, I'm just going to pause it here. And before I address this woman's point, it's crazy to me how, you know, guys, I've been known to maybe have a little bit of food while I'm recording videos or something, but I try to mute my mic or something. What is with these women and recording videos and just mashing up their food on camera? Like, could we not just wait a minute or, you know, do this at some other time maybe where it's not going to be interfering so much? This woman is like having lasagna or something. Okay. And I don't know what the hell this is about. So she's complaining because her mother received a crude comment from a man who's 50 plus. Now, let me just say, guys, I don't care. Let's just assume this story is true with her 6'3", highly attractive mother, you know, which I don't know how this is relevant at all. You know, bringing up the fact that her mother is really tall here or slipping in that she's an attractive woman. Weird flexes to bring into a video. But here's the thing. I don't really care. And you know why I don't care, guys? Because you shouldn't be dating at 50 plus years of age. You know what I mean? And a lot of these guys who are like 50 plus years of age, they're past caring, man. They'll just say what they think. They'll say complete nonsense sometimes. And you know what? Maybe if you weren't dating at 50 plus years of age, you wouldn't be encountering such nonsense. Maybe you would have a wider degree of options. For example, that you didn't have to go out with a man who was perhaps overweight or so on. Because make no mistake, guys, when these women are in their 20s, do you really think they have to date men who are overweight? This woman goes on to elaborate more on that. But I don't really care about the dating experience of women who are in their 50s, simply because number one, they shouldn't be dating at this point. She literally divorced her husband. And then second of all, women have had dating on easy mode for their entire lives. Still at 50, they'll have a way easier time dating than men will. But let's continue.
When she asked, at first she asked him to repeat the question, and he does. And she goes, no. And he goes, are you just scared of pain? And it's funny because my mom has actually gotten more pissed off the more she has sat back and thought about this, because then he tried to play it off like, oh, I could also use some work there because he had moobs. But it's an epidemic because the older men are also being red pilled. My stepdad kind of was always a little bit misogynistic. But you know how they say that as people age, they go more towards conservative values? It's because these men are also consuming content, red pill content, on the internet.
Okay, let me stop you here. What has a crude comment got to do with being red pill? I don't understand this, guys. You know, like women just look for any reason to just be like, oh, he's an evil conservative man. We got to watch out for these conservative men. You want to know something funny about these conservative guys, or these RP guys, as it were? They don't want to date women like you. Just by the way, like, let's make this abundantly clear. A lot of these men who are more traditional, you know, they're not really looking to date liberal women with TikTok accounts or women in their 50s. So I find it funny how women will have all of this stuff to say about conservative men. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of these guys simply don't want to date you. You know, again, this is a woman with a TikTok account who posts ramble videos. Okay, like, women don't seem to understand this. I know this woman probably doesn't care, but let me make this clear. Men typically don't want to date women who post all of their personal life onto TikTok, because what will happen, men understand this, okay? Men understand that if they have a relationship with you, number one, you're going to be a headache. But number two, their life is now going to be on the internet as well. Like, how many times have we seen these women just talk about stuff that belongs in their private life? Okay, their relationship does not belong on the internet. These experiences that they're talking about don't like, whatever happened to valuing privacy, you know? But here we are, we're talking about the dating experiences, you know, that we have all the time, and we're talking about, you know, our mothers and our all of this crap. And, you know, one comment here and there, sure, but these women have dedicated TikTok accounts to just talking about everything to do with their life. Make no mistake, these RP guys, these conservative men, they don't want to date women who are clinically insane. So let's carry on.
They're on their phones. Like, my stepdad was scrolling reels, right? It's not just affecting young boys, it's the older generation. And more women in that age bracket are leaving their husbands. It's called the Great Divorce. And they are also consuming content telling them to nag women, which is what that man did to my mother. Could you imagine? Like, my mother is 54, I believe, years old. Could you imagine having the gall to ask a woman who has spent majority of her life without a boob job if she is going to get a boob job?
Again, let me stop you here. I don't care. I simply don't care. I find it funny how women will get treated, you know, 1% of the way that men get treated. And then they'll make TikTok videos crying and complaining about it. You know, like, oh, I can't believe that this man said this horrible thing to me. All the guys listening to this crap will be like, okay, first time? Is this the first time in your life that you've received a strange, crude, perhaps rude comment? Like, these women live life on such easy mode. It is crazy to me. It is absolutely crazy. The crap that women say to men, the way women behave when they date men. And the reason why this is different, I'll explain this, okay? Because women will say, oh, we get treated terribly all the time. The reason why it's not the same is because women have so many options, and yet they deal with the men who don't care about them. For men, it's actually not like that. Men don't have, the average man doesn't have any options, or if he does, they're very, very little options, you know? So when women are complaining about their dating experiences, please understand this is voluntary for them. You know, nobody is asking you to divorce your husband at 54 years of age and return to the dating market. Nobody is asking you to go out there and chase these men on dating applications who are clearly not interested in you. Like, these women, they complain about their dating experiences all the time, but, you know, like, if they had a father figure in their life who was there to guide them, they would be able to weed out all of these dudes instantaneously and find them a good man. Have you ever noticed how all of these women, despite their power in dating, they always manage to struggle and make it difficult? It's really not that hard for women. I'm sorry, it isn't. You know, women will have their own set of issues, I'm sure, but my goodness, it pales in comparison to the experiences of men. Oh, he said this crude comment to me. Can you believe the state of these RP men, these guys who just engage in so much mahogany? Come on now.
Like, that is a very, very weird fucking thing to bring up on a first date. And it really does speak to the audacity and entitlement men feel towards women's bodies. Corn has rotted their brain. Again, I say she's a 54-year-old woman. If the woman wanted to get a boob job, she would have already had a boob job. So proposing it to a fully grown woman that's already had kids, that's lived through a lot of life, is wild.
You know what else is wild? A woman who's lived through a lot of life and who has children and who's divorced being on the dating market. You ever notice that we don't talk about that? You know, like these women, they're very quick to say, oh, well, this man's, and just by the way, I'm not defending this dude's comment. Like personally, I wouldn't say crap like that to a woman or anybody simply because, you know, I don't want to talk to these women in the first place, mind you. You know, but I don't say crap like this to women simply because they'll probably call the police on me at some point. You know, I don't make an effort to converse with women. Not really interesting to me, to be honest with you. So I don't really care much for this guy's comment. If he wants to make it, if he wants to not. I'm not saying it's a good thing to say. However, I don't really care. And I think that men get treated far worse, guys. You know, like you can be a dude these days. You can look at a woman the wrong way in the gym, and your entire social life in that gym can be completely destroyed. You might even get posted to the internet if you're unlucky and get roasted by a whole bunch of random women, you know, who you might just glance in a woman's direction, and before you know it, there's serious consequences for you as a man. And this woman is over here talking about the sentences that her mother received when her mother is dating at 50 plus years of age. Like, and again, what does this comment have to do with being RP in the first place? It has nothing to do with that whatsoever. It makes absolutely no sense. But of course, guys, this is coming from a woman who, you know, she herself struggles with dating because the quality of men these days is so damn low. Which again, by the way, the quality of men is not very low. It's just that you don't care about dating a good man because perhaps he doesn't earn as, like, guys, please understand, these women are meeting men through dating applications, okay? And if you ever watch a woman swipe on a dating application, it is very clear why they are single. You know, that they'll be for all intents and purposes a great guy on a dating application, but they'll overlook him because he's holding a fish, right? Or you know, because he likes fishing, or because, you know, in his bio it says he's 5'9", and she doesn't really want to date anyone who's under 6 foot. Okay, or he works some job that she doesn't find prestigious enough. Maybe he's like a plumber or something, you know, which is me. I'm not trashing on plumbers, by the way. I have a lot of respect for men who do those jobs. But you see my point. Maybe he's not glamorous enough. Maybe his hairline isn't fantastic. That's why these women struggle with dating, guys. I would encourage you, watch these women swipe on a dating application if you ever get the chance, and then try and feel sorry for them with their dating experiences. It's very damn difficult. But we're going to leave it there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.